whether the flamboyant politician can now vie for an elective position in the coming elections. I spoke to lawyer Dunstan Omari, who argues that once the governor presents the judgment for review at the Supreme Court and is cleared, then he can vie for any seat come 2027.
With former Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko being acquitted by Magistrate Eunice Nyutu in a case relating to the alleged misappropriation of funds amounting to 357 million belonging to the Nairobi County government, questions continue to linger on what the ruling means for the once embattled politician. The former governor, who had been barred from vying for an elective position, can vie again if he is cleared by the Supreme Court. This is according to city lawyer Dunstan Omari.
What he needs to do is to take that judgment and present it for review at the Supreme Court. Then he will be cleared, because the impeachment, the root of the impeachment has been found to be hot air. So governor can hold now public office because he has no conviction.
However, Advocate Paul Macharia differs, noting that the governor was bundled out of office on various grounds, and despite the acquittal, he is yet to be cleared on the other charges that warranted his impeachment and being barred from running.
For you to be removed, it is not a single ground. Yes, one ground may fail, but if other grounds have not been set aside, you cannot still be able to vie for a position of a county governor.
With Magistrate Eunice Nyutu blaming the prosecution for bungling the case, calling on Parliament to develop regulations to hold prosecutors accountable, city lawyer Omari rubbished those sentiments, terming them as hot air, with his counterpart Paul Macharia welcoming the move.
The magistrate is completely out of order. She was expecting a certain way of prosecution. The court has no jurisdiction on matters prosecution. Article 157 mandates the ODPP to prosecute, and therefore that trying to say that Parliament can review. She's not a court of record. If it was the High Court making that finding, it would have substance. So that to me, she went overboard, and she could not. Whatever she said is what I call hot air. It does not have any efficacy in law. It is her own sentiments. It's not binding to anybody.
A prosecutor cannot be taken to account for performing their duty. But then the magistrate is suggesting, then they have a duty of care. They need to demonstrate that even in conducting their cases, they exercise their due diligence.
Both lawyers, however, agree that the former governor is within his right to sue the state on grounds of malicious prosecution, if indeed he proves so.
There is what is called a malicious prosecution. He'll have to sue the Kenya government, so that if he proves that the prosecution was malicious, then he will be compensated. It is available in law. But it is him to prove that the prosecution was malicious. But he stands to be compensated heavily, and the loss of income from the time he lost his job as a governor.
Now, still on the corridors of justice is that 3 key